Edinburgh put lots of opportunities in front of me, and all I had to do was take them.
There is just so much to do in this city. Always something new to discover.
I love exploring Edinburgh. I found the people here very friendly and so much fun.
The city is known for being a global innovator in so many fields. That's what made it very attractive.
Edinburgh University is highly ranked worldwide. It's got such a strong academic reputation, which is why I was so eager to come here.
Edinburgh was always where I wanted to go to university during high school years.
It's a city with so many opportunities. It's a city you can be yourself in, and it's a city that challenges you.
Volleyball was a huge part of my life before starting university. It's been great playing it here as team captain.
The city has given me global opportunities to build my career, and I'll always be grateful for that.
The environment here has changed me. I've discovered my own independence.
I've made a lot of friends in Edinburgh. Scottish people are so welcoming. They've made me feel part of the city.
Everything I wanted to do, Edinburgh made happen. That's what university should be about. You need to be in a city that can inspire you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it.
There are a lot of world-class universities, but how many of them are in world-class cities?
Go Edinburgh.
Go Edinburgh.
Go Edinburgh. Go Edinburgh. Go Edinburgh. Come on, Edinburgh!
Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the Royal Commonwealth Pool in Edinburgh for session 5 of the Edinburgh International Swim Meet 2020. I'm Robert Taylor. I'll be doing your commentary this afternoon, and that's the schedule we have in front of us. Kicking off very shortly with the main 400 individual medley. Guys are just about ready to get us started. This is the first of 4 heats. So we have Jack Brown from Hartlepool in lane 2, Jacob Elwell Bud of Stockton in 3, Leon Campbell, Stirling Swim 4, Jacob Papel, Bud of Stockton in 5, Lucas Grieve first in 6, and Robert Burgess, City of Glasgow, goes in lane 7. In fact, we went into lane 2, no Jack Brown from Hearts. So 5 swimmers, lanes 3 through to 7, Jacob Yule, Bud of Stockton. Stockton very strong on the swimmers on butterfly. Some of the girls this morning from some tracking races in the 100 and also last night in the 200 butterfly. Some of the boys off to a good start here with Jacob. So 4 strokes in the IM, butterfly, back, breast and free. So all these swimmers will have their preferred strengths and weaknesses. Early leader at the moment is Jacob, 1:03.42 after the first 100. So he's got 3 or 4 metres advantage over the rest of the field. So there is a junior final for this as well tonight. So for some of these lads, these are all junior swimmers. Juniors are 18 and under as of the end of the year. So they'll be trying to ensure they try and get a time to get into the final this evening. Most of the swimmers this afternoon are in fact in that junior category. So at the moment coming through very strongly to challenge Jacob Yule is the other Jacob Papel, his teammate. Other 3 boys still within striking distance at halfway. There's probably 5 metres between first and last. And this is a key section. Good breaststroke can make a big difference in the IM. 2:19.54 at the halfway mark. It's now Jacob Papel in lane 5 that has taken it up. He's gone maybe half a metre clear. Coming through Leon Campbell from Stirling Swim in the breaststroke section. Also on that far side, Robert Burgess from City of Glasgow. So these 2 Scottish boys are trying to get back on terms with the 2 lads from the northeast. So 2 Jacobs, 3:02, 23 and 43 respectively. Just over 2 seconds back is Leon Campbell. So Leon Campbell has made quite significant ground in the breaststroke section. Still got a fair bit to make up on Jacob Papel, but he's certainly clawed back a big chunk of that lead that the 2 Borough Stockton boys built up at halfway. There's less than a body length between all 3. So 100 to go, 3:44.86. Leon Campbell got a couple of seconds back. At the moment it's Papel with the advantage. Leon Campbell and Jacob Yule very close for second place between the 2 lads. Papel at the moment looks the stronger of the 3, still maintains a good body length or more off the turn. Well, there's less than half a second between second and third. Papel at the moment has the advantage. The other 2 are certainly coming back a little bit, but 25 to go. It still looks good for Papel. Leon Campbell certainly finishing strongly to try and get second. Coming into the final 10 metres, Jacob Papel is going to take this. I think his teammate just going to get up to take second. So Borough Stockton 1-2. Jacob Papel takes that 4:52.80. Good improvement on the 4:55.70. Jacob Rule almost inside his empty time. And Ian Campbell also improves on the entry of 4:55. So good swims to get us underway. 3 good improved times there. And we have it 4:52.80, 4:53.73, 4:53.91. Robert Burgess also getting under the 5-minute mark on an entry of 5:05. So all these guys will be delighted to improve on their entry times in Heat 1. So up to heat number 2. All swimmers taking part in this one. We have James Cummings Candle from Portsmouth, North Sea in 1. Alistair Peterson, Wandermass in 2. Jake Kirkham from first, goes in 3. Alex Russell-Barnett, Ellesmere College Titans in 4. Arthur Llewellyn, Borough Stockton in 5. Owen Ray, Wanderbath 6. 7 is Finlay Wallace from St Thomas, and Liam Eccleston from Dumfries goes in lane 8. At the moment, fairly level start, going pretty well in lane 1. James Cummings Candle also well there in 4, and over in lane 8. Alex Russell-Barnett in 4, Liam Eccleston in 8. And is the middle lane, Alex Russell-Barnett from James Cummings Candle. Entry times in this one all in the 4:50 range, 4:50.40 through to 4:55.09. Picture back with us, coming down towards the end of the butterfly section. A good metre advantage that Alex has. Second place looks to be Arthur Llewellyn, just ahead of James Cummings Candle. 1:03.44, very similar to that previous heat. So still got a body length advantage that Ellesmere College Titan swimmer Alex Russell-Barnett has. The whole field still well grouped, still going well in lane 1 is James Cummings Candle. Still in 5, Arthur Llewellyn. Lane 1 still well there. So at the moment, lanes 1, 3, 4 and 5 have got quite an advantage over the rest of the field. Not very much between lane 4, Russell-Barnett, and Cummings Candle in 1. They're almost together. 2:19.60 and 2:19.74. So again, split almost identical to the first split. And here Arthur Llewellyn getting to work. Nice long glide in 4. And he's just edged into the lead. I don't know if your screen is frozen. You can still see what we're seeing poolside here. Now it's Arthur Llewellyn. He's pulled about a second ahead now. Coming down around 30 metres to go of breaststroke. It's Borough Stockton swimmer with a good body length advantage, and he's really going to work down the final stretch, building up a nice advantage. And key section of the race, breaststroke, so things have certainly moved on with Llewellyn 3:39.72. We're about 4 or 5 seconds faster now than that previous heat. And the two guys in the middle lanes well clear. Can't see Llewellyn being caught, but you never know. 70 to go. Good body length still ahead. Both these guys have come in same entry time, 4:50.40. So I'm pretty sure they'll get under the 4:50 mark, but the race is not over yet. Rosser Barnett coming through strongly in the final stretch. This isn't done yet. 25 to go. Ellesmere College Titan lad Alex Rosser Barnett now just forges ahead. Well, he had a lot to do on the freestyle, and he's certainly worked very hard over that last 50. So Alex Rosser Barnett takes that inside the 4:50 mark, 4:49.82. Great swim to come back and take that. Llewellyn 4:50.10 also gets a slight PB, and Finlay Wallace from St Thomas coming through to take third place, 4:56.25. So on to our third heat. This afternoon there are spot prizes in all the events we have, and the winner of this will get a special goodie bag. So that's 4:49.28. Target for most of the juniors to try and get under. Entry times in this next heat range from 4:45.91 through to 4:49.60. So the whole field are on paper almost as fast as the previous heat. That's what we do today. Mark Innes, Warner Bass in 1. George Rudd, City of Oxford 2. Cameron Travis, Aberdeen Performance in 3. Samuel Chittleborough, Warner Bass 4. Craig Greenock, City Glasgow 5. Stephen Taylor, Ellesmere College Titans in 6. Both those two lads are not juniors, the rest of the field are. Cameron Allison, Dumfries in 7. Ryan Duncan, St Thomas goes in 8. So a good start in lanes 1 and 2. Mark Innes and George Rudd also well there in lane 5. Craig Greenock from City Glasgow. And it's probably Greenock with that blue cap with the early advantage. So half 1:02.98, about half a second faster. Now the fastest junior time 4:39.13, and the only other two junior times 4:43.11, 4:48.71. So 3 juniors at the moment have gone faster than the first 2 heats. There are 6 juniors in this one and 4 in the next. So coming through now very strongly, Cameron Travis, Youth Development Youth Squad member from Aberdeen Performance, started at the Scottish National Age Groups last year, and North District champion. Very promising youngster. 16 this year, Cameron, and a very strong backstroke section. Certainly gone best part of 4 metres clear of George Rudd, City of Oxford in 2, 2:15.51. Well, that's best part 4 seconds faster than the first 2 heats. And expect George Rudd to come through strongly in the breaststroke section. Also going very nicely again over on the far side, Stephen Taylor in lane 6. Ellesmere College just shades that third place, and certainly finishing this first 50 of breaststroke very strongly indeed. So the 2 English lads, George Rudd in 2 and Stephen Taylor in 6, have come through very strongly indeed to challenge Cameron Travis. George Rudd now takes it up in lane 2. So Cameron Travis will have to just try and keep this together as best he can. City of Oxford lad, and also Stephen Taylor, Ellesmere College Titans have had super breaststroke. If anything, it's now Stephen Taylor that's come through to take it up, 3:37.38. So a couple of seconds or so faster on the previous heat. George Rudd also a little bit faster on the previous heat, so he has a chance of maybe getting himself into one of the junior final spaces. Coming through also very strongly in lane 5 again. Craig Greenock, Cameron Travis in 4th place. And over in lane 8, Ryan Duncan from St Thomas, 3 juniors in 2, 3 and 8. It's a 19-year-old swimmer who turns 19 this year, Stephen Taylor, who has this one pretty well wrapped up now, coming inside the final 20 metres. Stephen's entry time 4:46.92. Looks as though he's going to take a few seconds off that, a little bit over the 4:40 mark. Cracking swim from Stephen. 4:42.32, very close for second. Well, the other 19-year-old this year, Craig Greenock, just gets up to take second place, 4:46.18, ahead of George Rudd, 4:46.23. 4:46.23 places George, I think, 3rd fastest junior so far, and with 4 to come, that will guarantee him a swim later on. Cameron Travis, 4:50.94 in 4th place. We'll have to wait and see. He sits 5th fastest in the juniors category. So 4 juniors in this one and 4 over 18. Samuel Naylor, Newcastle in 1. William Baines, Borough Stockton in 2. Don Bissett, University of Stirling 3. Angus Allison, Warner Bass 4. Miles Turner, West Suffolk 5. Thomas Coates, Swim West Lothian 6. Andrew Arthur from Aberdeen Amateurs 7, and Joseph Martin, Newcastle in 8. Juniors are in 2, 4, 6 and 7. Fairly level start so far. Going well in 1 and 2. William Baines in 2, Samuel Naylor in 1. Also in lane 6, Thomas Coates. Angus Allison in lane 4, well there with that red cap. So the times in this one range from 4:25. That's Angus Allison in lane 4. He's over 10 seconds on paper faster than anyone else. Very, very good all-rounder, Angus. That's one of the main pools that Angus trains in. Warmed up 1:02.09. Samuel Naylor just fractionally ahead. Angus Allison looks as though he now just taken it up. Thomas Coates from Swim West Lothian coming through to make a challenge. Thomas and Angus both 17 this year. They'll know their strengths and weaknesses pretty well inside out. Both swimmers that swim in the East District. Thomas winner at the Scottish Summer Meet and runner-up at East Districts in this. And Angus Allison, for sure he's the British champion in this distance. Thomas Coates and Miles Turner in 6 and 5 going well, along with Samuel Naylor in 1, but halfway mark. Allison 2:13.55. A couple of seconds faster, and Thomas Coates and also Miles Turner Also inside that 2:15. So at the moment, Angus Allison, this breaststroke section is certainly one of his strengths. So 4 or 5 metre advantage over Miles Turner, who's come through very strongly. Take charge of second place. Don Bissett, another good breaststroker. Don Bissett also was ex-City of Oxford before he came up to the University of Stirling. He's got third place, just ahead of Samuel Naylor, as Thomas Coates drops back significantly in lane 6. Angus Allison certainly well in control in this one now. 4:38.20 is the time to get into the A final, and turning on 4:30 certainly gives Angus a cracking chance of getting into that A final. There is one other junior in that A final, Charlie Hutchison from Ellesmere College Titans. Charlie 18 this year, Angus I say 17 this year. Angus turning 4:01.59, so you almost guarantee somewhere round about 4:33, and that will comfortably get him in. And be 6th place into the A final, or there is only an A final for the IM. A super swim from Angus. Wouldn't have trained too much for this one, but 4:32.20, what a time to post. Miles Turner 4:38.49. That will guarantee Miles possibly a swim if maybe someone pulls out. Miles Turner 4:38.49. That just will put him, I think, just outside potentially a swim. 4:38.37 would be the second reserve, so Miles Turner just misses out. Don Bissett in third. Certainly looking at that scoreboard, I would suspect Cameron Travis on that 4:50 will be in the junior final, but no doubt the coaches will check with the recorders downstairs where we are, just to find out later on if some of these junior swimmers will be back this evening. But I'm pretty sure that one of them will certainly be Cameron Travis in that previous heat. Angus Allison getting a job done pretty thoroughly there, and we'll see Angus in the 400 IM final this evening. So we move on over to the other end of the pool for 50 backstroke. We have 5 heats. Ewan Dunce, Swim West Lothian, goes in 3. Matthew Brown, Aberdeen Performance, in 4. Finlay Scott from Warner Bass in lane 5. 5 heats. The vast majority of these swimmers are indeed juniors. One junior under 27 seconds this morning, 26.97. Our fastest heat later on, all the swimmers are in the sort of 27.5 plus range. So you'd expect they've got to go probably sub 28 from the junior point of view to get into the junior final. Very close, coming down to the touch, lane 2. I think Ewan Dunce just gets it on a 30.04. Matthew Brown just holds on to second, 30.06 and 30.10. Well, just a tenth between all three. That's just getting that on the touch, 30.04. So second heat, Jack Brown from After Midlothian goes in 1. Ben Ferguson, University of Stirling 2. Alex Thompson, Warner Bass 3. Teammates Ewan Beattie 4. Samuel Tittleborough 5. Craig McDonald, City Glasgow 6. James Newell, Borough Stockton in 7. This is heat number 2. So a pretty level start. Lane 4 perhaps, Ewan Beattie just beginning to get the upper hand down the final 15 metres. Beattie I think just holds sway. And inside the final 5 metres, Beattie I think has this over the far side. James Newell for second and maybe lane 5. Samuel Tittleborough third. That is indeed the order. Ewan Beattie takes that at 29.53. Very much on his entry time of 29.50. Newell 30.05 and 30.23 for Tittleborough. On to heat number 3. Joseph Aspinall, Ornder in 1. Yazanono, Swim West Lothian 2. Ryan Zio, Newcastle 3. Jake Kirkham first in 4. Aidan Brown, Borough of Stockton 5. Kerr Lumsden, St Thomas in 6. Rory McKinnon, Mulgine Bearsden in 7. Robert Burgess, City of Glasgow in 8. Guys' times in this one 28.40 through to 29.40. So virtually got to find at least a second and a half to maybe get anywhere into a junior final. All these swimmers are indeed juniors. I start in lane 3 from Ryan Zio from Newcastle, and certainly he has maybe a metre advantage over Jake Kirkham in 4. It's Zio in 3, very close for second place. Zio in 5 and 3 perhaps. In fact, Kerr Lumsden from St Thomas in 6 just got up to take second ahead of Aidan Brown in lane 5. Winning time 28.09. Two guys just under the 29. Moving on to heat number 4. Ben Saxon, Alnwick Dolphins in 1. Ben Prosser, Loughborough University 2. Max Jameson, Bath Uni in 3. Matthew Cairns, Newcastle in 4. Callum Young, Aberdeen Performance 5. Stephen Clegg, Edinburgh University in 6. Fraser Wilson, Warner Bass in 7. Ben Carr, Edinburgh University in 8. Just the 2 juniors in 4 and 7, Matthew Cairns and Fraser Wilson. Entries 28.09 to 28.30. A good start in 4 by Matthew Cairns from Newcastle. There's maybe half a metre advantage over the far side. Ben Carr going well. Ben Carr still well there in lane 8, and in 4 Matthew Cairns. Matthew Cairns in 4 is going to take this. Carr in 8, and in 3 perhaps. In fact, 2 and 3 Ben Prosser, Max Jameson takes second and third just ahead of Ben Carr. Winning time 27.55. I'm pretty sure that will certainly give Matthew Cairns a swim, the junior, later on this evening. A good swim from him. Takes over half a second off that entry time of 28.09. Well done, Matthew. Final heat, heat 5. William Ellis, Borough Stockton in 1. Teammate Tom Ward 2. Ryan Robertson, City Glasgow 3. Alexander Harris, Stirling Swim 4. Carol Barrett, Aberdeen Performance in 5. Ian Rose, Warner Bass 6. Cameron Travis, from Aberdeen Performance 7, and Lewis Heasley, City Glasgow, goes at an 8. Everyone in this one junior apart from Carol Barrett, lane 5. So Alexander Harris in 4, certainly prominent, along with Carol Barrett in 5. Now coming into the final few metres, it's I think the 2 middle lanes just with the advantage. Who's going to get this? Lane 4, I think, just Alexander Harris. It was 27.59. Just a fraction slower than the previous heat. That also, I'm sure, give Alexander a swim this evening. That will all get checked out by our recorders downstairs. Carol Barrett 27.68 in second. Mellis in third place. As we move to the girls 50 back, we have 6 heats. This is heat number 1. Emma DeVette, West Lothian in 2. Molly Kidd, Warner Bass 3. Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatics 4. Sienna Perry, Aberdeen Performance in 5. And Ella Wood from Heart of Midlothian goes in 6. And entry times in this one 32.89 through to 33.25. Again, all these girls are juniors. I think for most of them it's get experience in swimming in this competitive environment today. 30.35 is the fastest junior time. That's not qualified for the A final. A couple of juniors are in fact in that A final. So these girls, I would say, probably more swimming for personal best. Nice strong start in lanes 2 and 4. Emma DeVette, Lucy Stoves. So coming down inside the final few metres. Well, Lucy Stoves 32.42 takes that. Stevenson was actually in that as an extra swimmer. She did win that. But, we don't have the details for Ella Stevenson. Not on the start sheet or on your caption when that came through. So Lucy Stoves took that from the rest of the field. She was a winner in lane 4, 32.42. We'll just see if we can get any information before we start. Heat 2, our officials will want that checked. Ella from Bells Hill Sharks. So obviously she must have been missed from the programme earlier on and added in before the start of the session. A very good swim from Ella. So probably somewhere around the 32-second mark. And hearing 31.78 is likely to be the time that will be entered for Ella. So bear with us, there's very slight delay before that gets checked. Usually the officials will double check the board before it gets underway, but it looks as though we're now ready to go with Heat 2. But 31.78 for those of you from Bells Hill especially. Very you can see that Bells Hill Sharks cap in lane 2. Shannon Rollick, Kate Carruthers in 1, Shannon Rollick 2, Sophie Bain 3, Chloe Ward 4, Alexander Murray 5, Zara Cowan 6, Natalie Marshall 7, Ron McGill in lane 8. All these juniors 32.30 to 32.80, and off pretty nicely in lane 1. Kate Carruthers from Hearts, youth development squad member, going very well, coming through very strongly in the middle lanes. In 4 and 5 are Chloe Ward. Well, Chloe Ward I think is going to take this, and also there Alexander Murray and Natalie Marshall in 4 and 7. Just wait for that to be confirmed. Well, it was over on the far side Ron McGill that got in to get second. Chloe Ward 32.61. Almost impossible just to get the 1, 2, 3 in that one, all over the shop. Lanes 4, 8, 5, 7. Very tight finish. Then heat 2, on to heat 3. Ashley Merson 1, Sky Mulholland 2, Alice Knight 3, Holly Lumsden 4, Kiana Bellotti 5, Imogen Collins 6, Fern Crichton 7, and Rada McGregor Carnegie in 8. 31.90 to 32.20. Coming through very strongly in lane number 5. Kiana Bellotti from Warner Bass. And she's certainly finishing extremely strongly. Fern Crichton from Perth City, the other red cap in 7, well there. That looks to be the 1-2. Third place maybe in lane 8. Thanrada McGregor from Carnegie. It was Thanrada who got up to get third. So two outside lane, second and third. Kiana Bellotti 31.29. Cracking swim from Kiana. 32.70 for Fern and 33 dead for Thanrada. So on to heat number 4. Mary Shane from Geary in 1. In 2 we have Kyla Manson, Edinburgh University. Martha Reeves, Dundee City Aquatics 3. Emma Hudson, Isle of Man 4. Rachel Gillespie, Mulgine Bearsden 5. Jacqueline McMillan, Carnegie 6. Gemma McLeod, Aberdeen for Commons 7. And Melissa Mainwaring in lane 8, from West Lothian. Strong start in lane number 3. Martha Reeves, pink cap of Dundee City Aquatics, also coming through strongly to challenge Emma Hudson. Rachel Gillespie in 5, but Jacqueline McMillan in lane 6 is coming strongly through. Jacqueline McMillan is really storming at the death and might just take this from lane 6. She does from lane 4. 31.03. Nice swim from the Carnegie lass, takes almost a second, half a second off her time. 31.03, that might get a swim later on. 31.30 for Emma and Rachel Gillespie. Another good sprinter, 31.66, takes third place. And that's certainly, for the moment, which is Jacqueline, I think, into about 5th place in the juniors. We still have another 7 to follow. So on to heat 5. Sarah Coffey 1, Alana Lawson 2, Erin Donnelly 3, Delphine Little 4, Elise McQueenie 5, Ellie Thies in 6, Emir McCallum 7, Katie Thiller in 8. Now the 4 middle lanes all well there, and might just be lane 4 who's got advantage. Delphine Little, City of Oxford, and Ellie Thies, Loughborough in 6. That looks to be the 1-2. Very close for third, and perhaps Elise McQueenie or Alana Lawson. And third, Alana Lawson, I think, just got that. For that to be confirmed, it was Delphine 30.86, Elise 31.39, and 31.67. Lawson. So pretty sure we'll give Delphine a sporting chance of getting into that junior final with a sub 31, with the juniors to follow. Might also give Jacqueline McMillan a chance of getting an outside lane. Lisa Lumsden in 1, Ellie Walker 2, Francesca Whiting 3, Holly McGill 4, Sarah Hill 5, Mary Swanson 6, Kate Butler 7, Lucy Lucas in 8. Juniors 4, 5 and 8. Holly McGill from Hearts, fastest qualifier in our last heat. And certainly she's off pretty well. Mary Swanson in 5, but over the far side, Kate Butler in 7 has got the advantage. Lucy Lucas in 8, well there. So the far side may just have this. Also in 6, Mary Swanson, Kate Butler, lane 4, Holly McGill I think in 2nd, Lucy Lucas up there. Oh, very close, was pretty close between Holly and Kate Butler. 30-11, Lucy Lucas 30-74 and 30-84. So I'm pretty sure that Holly and Lucy will be in junior finals, but the coaches can check that at the recorders table. Good swims all round there. Nice to see some good PBs in that as we move to the other end of the pool again. It's the 100 meters breaststroke for our 15 and over boys. It's first of 7 heats, 3 heats in this one. Underway just a wee moment. And Adam Peaty going sub a minute this morning in the fastest heat. James Wilby and Ross Murdoch winning their heats as well. So that's a special one to look forward to this evening. So there'll plenty of opportunities for juniors to get into finals here. Alex Smith from first goes in 3. Louis Lawler, City Glasgow in 4. Alistair Finlay from first in lane 5. 1:13.56 for Oleg, 1:12.39 Louis, and Alistair 1:12.94. That's the entry times. 33.16 Alistair. 3 lads almost together off the wall coming down the stretch. It's Alistair still with the advantage. Louis Lawler from City Glasgow within about a metre, and not much between the two. Alistair still with that advantage and probably just beginning to pull away down the final 15 metres. Let's see if they can get pretty close to the entry time. 1:12.94, nice swim from Alistair. 1:10.76, I'll be very pleased with that, taking a couple of seconds off his entry time. 10.76 for Alistair, Louis in 2nd, and all at 3rd. Now move on to our second heat. Michael van Glerk, Wanderbass in 2, Douglas Calder first in 3, Gavin Roberts, City Glasgow 4, Alistair Peterson, Wanderbass 5, Jack Milne, Dundee City Aquatics goes in 6, Niles Latchley, City Glasgow in lane number 7. Nice start from Wander Swimmer Alistair Peterson in 5. Good for Douglas Calder. Fancy he'll go well in lane 3. Turns 15 this year. And, Douglas certainly going very nicely down the first 50. Douglas been swimming pretty well at West Districts. West District champion on the 100. He's certainly coming through very strongly indeed. Over on the far side in lane 6. We have Jack Milne, Maris Lapsley in 7. We have certainly challenging Douglas now. It might just be Jack Milne who's getting up to take this. It's very tight now. Jack Milne, Douglas Calder and Alistair Peterson. Alistair Peterson just on the touch out to get second place. Jack Milne 1:10.78, almost the same time as our previous heat. Alistair 1:11.48, 1:11.52. Douglas just running out of steam at the death. Nice, good swims all round there. Ian Campbell, Stirling swim goes in 1. Tom Ward, Burra Stockton 2. Teammates Jacob Papel in 3. Arthur Llewellyn in 4. Emil Moraski, Wanderbass 5. Teammate Finn Bremner goes in 6. Ollie Carr, Stirling swim in 7th. Empty lane in lane 8. So the times in this one, 1:10.20 to 1:11.26. So a good start from Burra Stockton lad, Tom Ward in 2. Teammate in lane 3, also going well, Jacob Papel. At the moment, advantage maybe by about half a metre by Ward over in lane 7, going very nicely. Ollie Carr from Stirling Swim. Stirling in 3rd. Neil Moraski, Wander well there in 5. And beginning to tighten up a little bit down the final 25 or so. And the 3 Burra Stockton lads pretty well together. Liam Campbell low with a late charge in 1, coming through to challenge. And also Emil Moraski in 5. It's pretty tight between these two, and a late charge from Arthur Llewellyn in 4. Emil Moraski, I think, has just got this one. Emil, oh, it's lane 4, I think that gets it. Oh, it wasn't. 100th in it. I thought Arthur had just snatched that to the death, but not quite. Emil Moraski at 1:10.46, 1:10.47. Ian Campbell in lane 1, 1:10.97. Cracking race in that one. Campbell getting a nice improvement in his time on 11.26. It's about a second off that. Good swims from the 2 lads in the middle lanes. On to heat 4. Jason English, Wanderbass in 1. Graham Baird, Scotia 2. Mark Stoops, University of Stirling 3. Theo Goodfellow, Finns in 4. Toby at Laguda, Ellesmere College Titans 5. Logan Bryan, City of Oxford in 6 rather. Cameron Allison, Dumfries in 7. Jamie Littlefield, Wanderbass in 8. Nice start in lane number 4. In lane number 6, City of Oxford's Logan Bryan. There's maybe half a metre advantage at the moment. Also going very nicely, Theo Goodfellow in lane 4. Not much between the two. It's Goodfellow, 32.05, 32.06 for Ryan. Mark Stoops turning in 3rd. Mark Stoops in lane 3, coming through strongly, along with Graham Baird in 2. At the moment, still looks like it's Theo Goodfellow in 4. Still well there in lane 6 is Logan Bryan. It might be Bryan that's just finishing the stronger. It is. Bryan takes that. Goodfellow just second ahead of Graham Baird. So Logan Bryan 1:08.36. It's well over a second of his entry time. Second place, Theo Goodfellow 1:09.39. Graham Baird 1:09.56. Moving on to heat number 5. Andrew Arthur, Aberdeen Amateurs 1. Nurik McSharry, Marlins goes in 2. Conor Massey, City Glasgow 3. Joseph Martin, Newcastle 4. Max Vass from Kusakis in 5. Rob Foster, Loughborough United in 6. Ryan Zeo at Newcastle 7. Murray Pitcher, Perth City in 8. In fact, Rob Foster from Loughborough will show in 6. Times in this one 108.50 to 108.90. Andrew Arthur in lane 1 going very nicely. Max Vass, Kusakis in lane 5 also well there. And it's Andrew Arthur just with a slight advantage, 31.20. Andrew Arthur going very nicely indeed. Did a 107.01 at the North District Age Groups where he won that. 6th at the summer meet. And still going particularly strongly down the final stretch. Arthur certainly has this one. Andrew Arthur, best part of a metre clear. Second place, Rick McSherry perhaps. Over in lane 5 it is Lars that takes second. Ryan Zale in third at 107.64. Faster than his entry time, but a little bit slower than what he did at the North Districts. 107.64, Andrew Arthur. So on to our penultimate heat. Heat 6, Marius Crangelis, Bellshill Sharks in 1. Freddie Wilkinson, City of Oxford 2. Don Bissett, University of Stirling in 3. Dan Kinsella, Warrington Warriors 4. Alexander Parisiak, City Glasgow 5. Kent Lane in 6. Lewis Bailey, Aberdeen Performance 7. And Finlay Wallace, St Thomas in lane 8. 107.44 to 108.1. Juniors in all the lanes apart from 2, 3 and 7. Strong start in lane 4 from Dan Kinsella from Warrington Warriors. Tracking him, Alexander Parisiak, City Glasgow. And strong in 1, Marius Crangelis as well. He's not out of it, in fact he's turned third. Over the far side, Finlay Wallace just has that lead from Dan Kinsella. Marius Crangelis in 1 rather, just being overhauled. Freddie Wilkinson coming through strongly in 2. Not much to choose between them all. Coming down inside the final 15. Dan Kinsella just finishing a little bit stronger. Freddie Wilkinson perhaps second, on the touch for second. And it was Dan Kinsella 108.15. Don Bissett just touched out Freddie Wilkinson for second place. Winning time in that one. 108.15. So that 107.64. Previous heat, Andrew Arthur still the fastest time to beat. Kenji McDade, City of Oxford 1. Conor Morrison, Aberdeen Performance in 2. George Smith, Ellesmere College Titans in 3. Teammate Stephen Taylor in 4. George Barnes, Bath University 5. Liam Murphy from first in 6. Joshua Mitchell, Warner Bath 7. Thomas Cannon, University of Stirling goes in lane 8. After play level start at the moment. Lane 5, George Barnes just shading it at the moment. Hello Stephen Taylor coming through in lane 4. On the far side, Thomas Cannon, ex-Inver Clyde swimmer now at University of Stirling, going particularly well in that outside lane. Thomas Cannon in second, Stephen Taylor 31.17, 31.23 for Cannon, George Barnes 31.26. Kenji McDade, Conor Morrison and George Smith in 1, 2 and 3. Not out of it either. Well, coming into the final 25. Lots of work to do. Stephen Taylor still just prevails in 4. George Barnes in 5. Now it's still the advantage in 4. Stephen Taylor, second place. Looks as though it's going to be George Smith in 3. And in 6, perhaps, Liam Murphy. Was Liam Murphy from nowhere getting up to take 3rd place. So 105.67, 106.66, and Liam Murphy, that will certainly get him a swim, I'm pretty sure, later on, the junior. Ed Smith also junior, getting in sub 107. So we move on to the girls. This is 100 metres fly, 5 heats ahead of us. First heat has Dana Matthias from City Glasgow in 3. In lane 4, Zoe McDonald from University of Stirling. Rachel McLeod from Warder Bath was in lane number 5. The swimming in this, Zoe McDonald turns 20 this year. You won't like me reminding her of that. Back end of the year, and off to a nice strong start, Zoe. 108.51. I think she'll go a lot faster than that. Should be at least a couple of seconds faster than that on past form, but I've been doing a lot of swimming in the last year, Zoe. Coming in 30.63, just ahead of Rachel McLeod. So very strong on breaststroke. Certainly doesn't do a lot of distance work these days. Good to see her performing at this level. Just hanging on to take this. I should be pleased with that. It's just inside her entry time, 108.04. About half a second inside that entry time. Rachel McLeod from Warnder in second place, 108.69, and 3rd place is Dana. On to heat number 2, Holly Simpson, Aberdeen Performance in 1. Tori Shaw, Aberdeen Performance 2. Anna De Rosa in 3 from Best. Isabel Wood, Stirling Swim 4. Alice Mackey, Hatton Midlothian 5. Lauren Chalmers, Drain 96 in 6. Iona Wilson, East Lothian Swim Team 7. And Leona Jones, Borough Stockton in 8. Alice Mackey in 5 has a good bit of form. She's Scottish Schools champion and the winner at the summer meet. Did a 107.30 at the Dave McCulloch meet just the other week. And a 107.44. At the moment, Anna De Grossa with the advantage from Leonie Jones over on that far side. Anna De Grossa, 6th at the summer meet, 2nd at East District. And Gala-based swimmer swimming for Best. Certainly with that slight advantage. Alice Mackey now getting to work in 5, and still Leona Jones in 8, not out of it. But the Hearts lass has timed this one perfectly. Alice Mackey coming through to take this. Alice Mackey takes this. Leona Jones, I think, over on the far side, just gets 2nd. And Anna De Grossa just hanging on to take 3rd ahead of Isabel Wood, who was just 400s back. So nice swim from Alice Mackey, 107.03. Improves on that 107.30 over in Ireland just the other month. On to heat number 3. Jenny Galloway, Wanderbass 1, Alexander Murray, her teammate 2, Erin Donnelly, Borough Stockton 3, Dorothy Goodgame, City of Oxford 4, Millie Milne, Wanderbass 5, Reza Stoddart, East Lothian 6, Katie Bain, Aberdeen Performance 7, Dale McDade, Heart of Midlothian in lane 8. Good start in lane 6, Louisa Stoddart. Over in 7, Katie Bain, and the other side of her, Millie Milne. On the near side, it might be lane 3, Erin Donnelly is coming through. Erin Donnelly still well there, along with lane 6, Louisa Stoddart. There's Erin Donnelly, Dorothy Goodgame, and Louisa Stoddart, 31.24. It's very much those three swimmers still pretty well bunched here. Is Louisa Stoddart, Erin Donnelly in 6 and 3, in 4, Dorothy Goodgame is dropping back, and Erin Donnelly just finds that little bit extra down the final 15. Erin Donnelly, Alexander Murray with a late charge. Erin Donnelly, Alexander Murray, and Louisa Stoddart. That's the 1, 2, 3. Erin Donnelly takes that in a 1:06.34. 900s faster entry time. Alexander Murray in second place, 1:07.42, and 1:07.45. Louisa Stoddart. In the penultimate heat, Emma Rosen in 1, Emmy Hutchison in 2, Eve Corrigan 3. That's Edinburgh University, Emma Rosen, Amy Hutchison, City Glasgow, Eve Corrigan, Wanderbass, Lauren Wetherall, Ellesmere College Titans in 4, Delphine Little, City of Oxford 5, Natalie Jones, Wanderbass 6, Alice Meldrum, East Kilbride in 7, and 8, Evie McLean, City of Oxford. Nice start over on that far side. Alice Mackey and Evie McLean well there. Coming through in 5, Delphine Little, City of Oxford. Over the far side, it might still be in lane 8, lane 1 also well there, Emma Lawson, 30.50. Emma Lawson certainly well there. And Emma Lawson looking pretty strong coming down the final stretch. Coming through, Natalie Jones in lane number 6. Emma Rosen got at these districts 1:04.34 she did. Is she hanging on there? Natalie Jones with a late charge. Emma Rosen, Natalie Jones takes second. Delphine Little 1:04.98. Good swim from that outside lane for Emma. Moving on to the last heat, Lauren Patterson, City Glasgow 1, Empty Lane in 2, Emily Ford in 3 from City of Oxford, Krista Wilson, Borough Stockton 4, Hannah Denny, Bath University in 5, Katie Taylor, City Glasgow 6, Faye Rogers, Borough Stockton 7, Kieran Kelly, Glasgow University in 8. Good start in lane number 5 from Hannah Denny. Also in 3, Emily Ford. Mr. Wilson, good junior in 4, going well, and in 7, Faye Rogers. 2 Borough Stockton girls in 4 and 7, very prominent. At the moment it's lane 5, Hannah Denny, Bath University with the advantage I think. 29.33, 29.42, Emily Ford. Hannah Denny still going well. So those two at the moment 1-2. Emily Ford looks as though she's just that advantage of maybe half a metre. Emily Ford still going well. Lane 5. It's Hannah Denny coming through in lane 4. Krista Wilson to take second. Emily Ford takes that. Krista Wilson second, very close for third. Lauren Patterson from lane 1 just ahead of Faye Rogers, Katie Taylor.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Have you been handed a little registration plate on a bit of paper? Okay, somebody got handed announcements for the journalists.
So that concludes our butterfly. Next event, 2:07, is the 200 metres butterfly. We have 3 heats up and coming. So again, opportunities for a lot of the swimmers this afternoon to force their way into maybe a junior final. Fastest junior time 2:12:37. Got to be looking for something around 2:10 to get them into a B final. It's certainly possible for the last heat. We have Isaac Ripley, Borough Stockton 2, teammate James Newell in 3, Finlay Wallace, St Thomas in 4, Callum Rose, Warder Bath 5, 6, Kerr Lumsden, St Thomas, and in 7, Fraser Claxton, Heart of Midlothian. Isaac Ripley, 29:44. Two Borough Stockton lads in 2 and 3 showing the way. 2:17 through to 2:20 the entry times in this one. All these swimmers swimming in the junior category. It's true of the next heat as well. Callum Rose coming through to try and get himself into the picture in 3rd place. The 2 Borough Stockton lads, 103.89, 106.02. So James Newell making inroads into Isaac's lead. Callum Rose also well there. Those 3, as though they've got the race between them now. 2 Borough Stockton lads, 1 and 2, but Callum Rose not that far behind now. 141.31. It's now James Newell that's taken it up. And James Newell looks as though he's got this one under control. Callum Rose finishing strong in 2nd place. The Wonder swimmer is not going to get up to take this, but a good strong swim from him. James Newell takes that. 2:16.56. Callum Rose 2:17.59, and Isaac Ripley 2:20.42. So all 3 of them improving on their entry times. On to heat number 2, Ethan Brown, St Thomas in 1. George Rudd, City of Oxford 2. Matthew Cairns, Newcastle 3. Maximilian Bocato, City of Oxford 4. In 5, Mark Innes, Wonder Bass. Jacob Yule, Borough Stockton in 6. John Taylor, Aberdeen Performance 7. Mark Devlin, Bellshill Sharks, Raynard. 2:12.79 to 2:17.11. And if the majority can swim that, that will give them an opportunity of being in tonight's junior final. Strong start in lane 4 on City of Oxford swimmer Maximilian Bocato. And coming down to the first 50. Middle lane. Maximilian going well. Jacob Yule standing in 2nd place. So still lane 4 with the advantage. Bocato going well in 6 and 5. Yule and Innes. And well there, Matthew Cairns in 3. So 4 of them pretty well bunched here. 103.60 through to 104.62. And now Matthew Cairns makes a move. 2:13.98. That Northumberland didn't meet recently. 2:10.90. And Matthew Cairns, the Newcastle lad, really got the bit between his teeth now. Gone clear. Jacob Ewell, Borough Stockton in second, 1:38.26. He's got a second advantage. He's got certainly more than a second advantage now coming down the final stretch, pulling away from the rest of the field. Maximilian Bucato working hard to try and get back into second place. Mark Innes finishing strongly as well. But Newcastle swimmer Matthew Cairns, nice swim from him. Takes that 2:12.11. And that's that time is the fastest junior time. That is out with the A or B final. So that should guarantee Newcastle lad another swim. Jacob Ewell also 2:14.07. That should guarantee him a swim. I would think Mark Innes on a 2:16.58 will have every chance of also being in that junior final. Final heat has Thomas Coates, West Lothian in 1, Fraser Wilson, Warner Bass 2, 3 Gianna Napolitano, University of Stirling, Samuel Naylor, Newcastle in 4, Aidan Brown, Borough Stockton in 5, Kenji McDade, City of Oxford 6, William Baines, Borough Stockton 7, and Alex Bakers, Bath University in 8. 2:08 through to 2:12. So you would expect all these juniors who are in lanes 1, 2, 5, 6 and 7 to all get into the final if they can swim very much close to their entry times. Strong start in lane 3, Gianna Napolitano. Next Bellshill Shark swimmer, now University of Stirling. And this certainly is Gianna's strongest event. Did an IM earlier this morning in the fastest heats of the 400 IM. At the moment, gone off very strongly. I hope to maintain this in the second half. Napolitano. 1:10, very strong start from Giano. Samuel Naylor in 4 coming through. And, this is where Giano has got to just keep this going. Half a metre. Warren Baines in 7, really travelling nicely. Also coming through in 5. Aidan Brown at the moment. Giano is still about half a second advantage, 1:35.36. It's about 3 seconds faster, so we're in the sort of 2:10 range. Gianna Napolitano still maintains that advantage down the final stretch. Naylor coming back at him. Napolitano and Naylor. Not much between the two. Gianna Napolitano is virtually led from start to finish. Tying up low inside the final 5 metres. Gianna Napolitano takes that 2:10.13, just outside a swim to get him into that B final. At 2:10.13 will make him first reserve. Samuel Naylor 2:10.51. And I think those first two will be first two reserves for the B final. James Newell, finishing third. William Baines, I think, will also find himself in that final, but the coaches can check at the recorder's table later on. Gianna needed to find another 500s to sneak into that outside lane. But, never know, there might be one or two withdrawals and those two lads might get a swim later on. Move on to girls 400 individual medley now. 3 heats. Kiana Bellotti in lane 2 from Wanderbass. Holly Simpson, Aberdeen Performance 3. Anna Williamson, City Glasgow in 4. Leah Hughes, also City Glasgow in 5. And Melissa Mainwaring from West Lothian in lane 6. Times in this one, 5:20 through to 5:30. Butterfly section, Melissa Mainwaring from West Lothian, youngest member of these 5, turns 14 this year. There's 17, 16 and 15. Melissa 32.99. Holly Simpson from Aberdeen Performance coming through into second place. So it's still Melissa Mainwaring. Looks as though she's just going to pitch first. A little between the two. Quarter of a second. 1:12.62 for Melissa. Holly 1:12.85. Nice turn from Melissa. Opened up about a body length advantage. Anna Williamson and Leah Hughes in 4 and 5, the two City Glasgow girls. They are both 15 this year. They're coming to challenge for second now. Still the advantage with Melissa. Leah Hughes now gone second. I think maybe Kiana Bellotti in third. Kiana Bellotti a nice turn. And the other 4 girls almost in a line. Melissa Mainwaring 2 or 3 clear. Kiana Bellotti on the opposite side. Might just have got herself into second place. So Kiana Bellotti certainly making inroads into the lead. Leah Hughes in third place. So halfway mark. Melissa still has the advantage. 2:36.04. So she has best part of 2 seconds. This is a key part, breaststroke section. Melissa still maintains 2 or 3 metre advantage. Bellotti still in second. Other girls, 2 middle lanes coming through, try and get themselves into the picture, but at the moment, that's the main wearing. It's pretty solid. 4, maybe 5 metres clear. Leah Hughes might have got their second wind here. She's certainly challenging for second place. 24.31. There's about 4 seconds between them. Slightly better turn from Kiana. Just kept that second place. And Melissa Mainwaring still needs to keep working hard. And Bellotti has certainly maintained second place, but not really eaten into that gap yet. Was about a couple of seconds. It's possibly a little bit more than that with the freestyle to come. 4:12.52. Bellotti 4:15.55. 3 seconds to find. Leah Hughes should finish strongly. Good freestyler Leah. Leah Hughes might fancy second place if she can get motoring down this final section. Might fancy your chances of putting in a surprise, but I don't think Lassamine Waring is going to be caught now. Still 3 or 4 metre advantage. We'll see what the gap is with 50 to go. 4:50.64. Now it's cut down to just over 2 seconds. Mia Hughes in third. That's as you were. Lassamine Waring still maintains that body length advantage. Mia Hughes challenging Kiana Bellotti now for second. Bellotti just hanging on for second, but Mia Hughes finishing the stronger to get up to get second, I think. Lassamine Waring, super swim from the youngster. 5:27.79. Mia Hughes takes second. 5:28.97. Kiana Bellotti 5:29.89. Kiana Bellotti, the only swimmer improving on her entry time. Kiana on a 5:30.20. Other girl is just 2 or 3 seconds over their entry time, but nevertheless a good race to get us underway for the 400 IM. On to heat number 2, Imogen Collins. Wells Hill Sharks goes in 1. Mulligow, Geary in 2. Lauren Chalmers, Ren 96.3. Mr Wilson, Burris Stockton in 4. Erin Taylor, Finns in 5. Holly Shan, Aberdeen Performance 6. Elise McQueenie, City Glasgow 7. And Leonie Jones, Burris Stockton goes in 8. Krista Wilson, Burris Stockton, no surprises here, going out strongly in this butterfly section. In the 200 junior title last night has gone off extremely strongly indeed, 32.16. Leonie Jones, another Burris Stockton swimmer on that far side, turning in second. Krista Wilson. It's 2 or 3 metres advantage now. So coming down 6:37 at in the butterfly section. 5:09.80 at recent English Championships. Second in a 5:08.64. She's well clear at the moment on the backstroke. Going to take something special later on for the rest of the field to get anywhere near. Elise McQueenie would expect in lane 7 to certainly would be maybe in second place. Very, very strong on backstroke, the City of Glasgow swimmer. Holly Shand also well there in lane 6. These two girls turn almost together. They're making a little bit of an inroad into Krista's big lead at halfway. Holly Shand, Elise McQueenie. So trying to get into the mix. Lauren Chalmers, Ren 96. Erin Taylor from Finns in lane 5. Erin Taylor, the Scottish National Age Group champion in this distance and runner up at Easter 6 recently. And that gap certainly has been eaten into by the two girls in lane 6 and 7. 2:29.11. Holly Shand in second at halfway and now threatening the leader. Two girls play stroke for stroke, still advantage with Krista from Holly. Elise McQueenie in third at the moment. Erin Taylor, the body based swimmer, coming through very strongly into fourth place. Krista Wilson still with the advantage. Holly Shand, fourth at the summer meet, and she's the North District champion. Now in second, and Elise McQueenie drops back. Nuala Gow also getting herself into the picture on the breaststroke section. Nuala in different age group at the North Districts with a 5:10.31 at their district championships recently, winning that with at the Scottish national age groups and 6th at the summer meet. She's had a super breaststroke. Well, she's not far off the lead now. Krista Wilson, Holly Shand, and that breaststroke from Nuala Gow has brought her right back into the picture. In Ellen Taylor with a bit to find in 4th place, 4:00.19. Races on now on the freestyle. Holly Shand now takes it up. Krista Wilson just drops back that little bit. Holly Shand looks as though she's going to take this, beginning to pull away. Nuala Gow also going well in lane number 2. Holly Shand still a couple of years older than Nuala Gow, just making age count perhaps. Krista Wilson in 2nd, Nuala Gow in 3rd, but Nuala Gow still that spirited, determined dig down the final 50. Holly Shand I think has the measure of them. Holly Shand certainly looks as though she's going to take this 2nd place. I think we'll get someone from Gary. Nuala Gow still finishing very strongly indeed. Well, 2 swimmers from the north of Scotland, 1-2. Holly Shand 5:10.14. Nuala Gow 5:10.92. Cracking swim from both girls. 3rd place, long time leader 5:12.07. Krista Wilson. So one more heat to come. Cracking swim from 2 girls. Certainly you'd expect that 1-2 in that last heat certainly will find themselves swimming again tonight. Tracking swims from both girls. So Jenny Galloway won the Bass 1. Drew McKenzie, who kind of fancy might just take this one from lane 2, City Glasgow. Holly McGill, Heart Midlothian in 3. Emma Scully, City Glasgow 4. Holly Francis, Loughborough University 5. Rachel Saunders, Warner Bass 6. Megan Smith, City of Oxford 7. Lisa Bain, Aberdeen Performance in lane number 8. Well, a couple of girls this morning. Ellie Turner, Megan Brown, 5:01 and 5:05 respectively. They look pretty solid for getting into that junior final this evening. 2 girls in that previous heat on 5:10 also expect to be there. 5 juniors in this one. All entries are under 5:10. British swimmer under 5:10 to ensure another swim this evening. 107.66. Molly Francis, expect Emma Scully in lane 4 to come through very strongly. This under breaststroke is a section that Emma Scully's pretty strong on. Drew McKenzie though in 2. Certainly coming through very strongly to challenge those 2 swimmers, as is Holly McGill, Hearts last in 3. Could be pretty close at the halfway mark. Rachel Saunders also very useful backstroker, the Wander swimmer in lane 5. Both Rachel and Holly knowing one another very well from their duels in the pool in the East District Championships. And Drew McKenzie though, another swimmer who was based in the East, now swimming at City of Glasgow, having moved over to the Glasgow School of Sport. See Emma Scully, I was surprised to see her leading at halfway. very strong on breaststroke as well. 2:25.33. She'll need to really have a good lead at the end of this breaststroke section to give her half a chance. Freestyle not strongest part of Emma's the 4 disciplines. Drew Mackenzie, we half suspected getting it really a bit between her teeth now and challenging Emma Scully. Rachel Saunders in lane 6, going very nicely along with Molly Francis in lane 5. That's the two City Glasgow girls. Emma Scully, Drew Mackenzie, 1 and 2, with Molly Francis and Rachel Saunders. 3 and 4 as Holly McGill drops back. Drew Mackenzie, new squad member, coming through very strongly indeed to challenge Emma Scully. Emma 7th at the Dave McCulloch meet and 6th at the National Open. That's where Emma's time of 5:03.87 comes from. Still managing to just pull away a little bit from Drew Mackenzie, West District champion, winner at the summer meet, 4th at Nationals, Scottish National Age Group. A good swim from Molly Francis has got her also into the mix. Molly turning very close in 3rd. Is that their equivalents championships down south? Emma Scully still with the advantage. And she keep this going on the freestyle section. Drew Mackenzie just hold 2nd. Molly Francis in 3rd. Now 5:01.56 is the slowest time for the 400 IM, so it would have to be a cracking PB. I can't see Emma doing a sub 30 down the final stretch, but Emma will want to win the heat if she can. She's now coming under a little bit of pressure from Drew Mackenzie. Drew Mackenzie with a late charge. Emma Scully and Drew Mackenzie. It's going to be a City of Glasgow 1-2. Emma Scully still with the advantage down the final 25. Emma Scully looks as though she's going to hold on to take that. Emma Scully, cracking swim, 5:05.34. Also a good swim from Drew Mackenzie. Drew improving on her entry time. Just a second or so. 5:07.90 coming into this. 5:06.12. So a second or so off that time. We'll get, I'm sure, another swim this evening. Lisa Bain and Rachel Saunders 4th and 5th. Also, I'm sure, be back for a junior final that will need to get checked out. The coaches can check that once that has been amalgamated with the morning results. Good swims from quite a number of these youngsters there. So back to the other end of the pool. It's 53 for the men. Total of 8 heats up and coming. Quick check to see what time some of these guys have got to do. 23:90 or better, in fact 23:88 is what's required to get anyone into a B final. None of the swimmers in any of the heats have a faster time. It's sub 24 seconds. It's the question of being as fast as you can to get into the junior final for most of the swimmers here. None of the swimmers outside the top 60 this morning were juniors, so all these places up for grabs this afternoon. So first heat, Andrew Mullen 1, Fergus Miller 2, Jason English 3, Craig McDonald 4, John Law 5, James English 6, Ollie Carter in 7. So the advantage at the moment in lane 3, Jason English from Mordor. So he's going to take this over in lane 6. Sorry, Jason English from James English. And, two Wonder lads, two brothers, 1-2. And Ollie Carter, 26.53. And that is a new record for Ollie Carter, an S10. Well done, Ollie. Then we're on to our second heat. Empty lanes in this one. Isaac Ripley in 1, empty lane in 2, Matthew Brown in 3, Logan Bryan in 4, empty lane in 5, Lewis McKean 6, Sean Craigwell 7, Ewan Beattie in 8. 25.91 to 26.60. All very tight inside the final 15 metres. Might just be lane 3 who's going to prevail. What's tight? Lane 6, Sean Craigwell, 25.91 takes that. Improves almost by half a second. Hart swimmer, Lewis McKean, 26.11, Matthew Brown, 26.12. On to heat number 3. Alex Thompson 1, Joshua Mitchell 2, Finn Bremner in 3. We've got an empty lane in 4. 5, Ian Rose, Joshua Aspinall in 6. All these swimmers from Warnder, Maximilian Volcanto in 7, and Lewis Hazley, City Glasgow in 8. Lane 2, perhaps Joshua Mitchell might just have that slight advantage, although Ian Rose also well there. Ian Rose going best over on the far side in 5. Very tight indeed. Ian Rose, I think, is going to snatch this. Ian Rose from, I think, Joshua Mitchell. Close for third place. 25.32. Ian Rose takes about a third of a second of his time. Joshua Mitchell, Maximilian Volcanto in third. On to heat number 4. Dan Kinsella, Wellington Morris in 1, Karen Allison Dumfries 2, Jamie Claxton Hearts in 3, Louis Lawler City Glasgow 4, Ross Kerr Hearts in 5, Ben Ferguson University of Stirling in 6, and Yazan O'Neill Swim West Lothian in 7. 25.15 to 25.50. Pretty level, but a good start in 4 from Louis Lawler and Dan Kinsella in 1. Louis Lawler might just have a slight advantage. It's very tight indeed coming into the final 5 metres. Louis Lawler from Ross Kerr and over in 7 as a no-no. That's the 1, 2, 3, 25, 28. Louis just takes that. We're on to heat number 5. Tom Wardborough, Stockton 1, Ben Prosser, Loughborough University 2, Richard Kuzbaev, also Loughborough University 3, Robbie Hemmings, Poole in 4, Sonny Kennedy, Loughborough University in 5, Bartak, empty lane in 6, Graham Baird, Scotia in 7, and in 8, Ryan Robertson, City Glasgow. 24.95 to 25.10. Pretty level start. Lane 3 perhaps, Richard Kuzbayev. Just may shade this. Coming into the final 15 metres. Oh, it's very close indeed. Richard in lane 3. I think Kuzbayev from Hemmings. And Sonny Kennedy in third from lane 5. Kuzbayev takes that 24.92. The fastest we've seen so far. Hemmings 25.11. Sonny Kennedy 25.19. 25.01 gets under at 25-second mark. On to heat number 6. Del Pate 1, Lewis Birrell 2, Jamie Eason 3, Aris Crongelis in 4, Stacey 5, Martin McInnes 6, Yusuf Batut 7, Warwick McSharry in 8. We have an empty lane in lane 7. 24.70 to 24.92. Lane 5 perhaps might just be shading it. Luke Stacey, not much between them coming down the final stretch. Stacey in 5, in 6 Martin McInnes, Stacey McInnes, third place over in 8. Warwick McSharry just getting touched out for third place by Maris Crongelis in lane 4. My 200s 24.64, Stacey and McInnes 24.74. Heat 7. Greg Fairbairn in 1, Rudy McKinnon 2, 3 Will Hutchins, 4 Gregor Swinney, 5 Maxwell Cattermole, 6 Dave Bloomfield, 7 Ethan Raymond, and in 8 Callum Atkinson. (24.30 to 24.63). Very level start again. It might just be lane 2. Rudy McKinnon. Guy Bears then over on the far side in 6. Dave Bloomfield. And Bloomfield in 6. Bloomfield in 2. McKinnon and Swinney in 4. That's how it finishes. Bloomfield 24.37. McKinnon 24.51 and 57 for Swinney. Rudy McKinnon another swim later on. With just 3 juniors to follow in this final heat. Angus Nichol in 1, Miles Lapsley 2, 3 Toby Laguda, 4 Benji Gillingham, 5 Oscar Jones, in 6 Scarlett Caleb, Ewan McMurtry in 7, and we have an empty lane in 8. 24.09 to 24.21. Oh, nothing between them on paper, and virtually nothing between them down the final stretch. Oscar Jones perhaps in 5, over in 7. Ewan McMurtry, Jones. Oh, it's very tight indeed. Oscar Jones 24.10, bang on his entry time. Second place McMurtry 24.26, and Benji Gilliam 24.31. Coaches will be able to check whether the junior swimmers that they have managed to get themselves into finals. Benji Gilliam certainly in third place there. He should be pretty safe. So we'll move on to 50 breaststroke. 5 heats ahead of us. Anna Morgan, fastest junior, out with the top 8 on a 33.61. None of the field faster than that in any of the heats. Another junior 34.71. two Milford swimmers from this morning. Sarah McNaughton in 3, Nicole Stack in 4, Megan Collins 5, Alana McDonald in 6. And a very good start in lane 2 from Sarah McNaughton from Wanda. 37.20 her entry time. Got about half a metre advantage at the moment. And coming down inside the final 15. Sarah McNaughton looks as though she's done enough to hang on to take this one over on the far side. Is Alana. It's very close for second place. Sarah McNaughton. 37.08. Nice little improvement on a 37.20 to take that. So on to our second heat. Darcy Littlefield 1, Evie McLean 2, Joy Drummond 3, Kirsty Whitwell 4, Katie Simpson in 5. We have an empty lane in 6th, Susan Williams in 7, Amy McLeod in 8. 35.57 to 36.40 in this one. And lane 2, Evie McLean. So the Oxford swimmer has maybe about half a metre advantage. Kirsty Whitlow though and Katie Simpson in the middle lanes. Two M&B girls coming through very strongly indeed. We might get a Gambiers Den 1-2 here perhaps. And certainly they're there or thereabouts. It was an M&B 1-2. Kirsty Whitlow from Katie Simpson. Evie McLean in 3rd. Kirsty takes that in 35.17. Both girls inside their entry time. On to heat number 3. Lucy Stoves 1, Lara Mills 2, Alicia Bain 3, Yasmin Ali in 4, Susan Orr 5, Shona Graham 6, Fern Crichton 7, Martha Reeves in 8. 34.99 to 35.40. Doing very well over that far side. And the near side, Lucy Stoves in 1, Martha Reeves in 8. Coming through in lane 6, Shona Graham. Very close. Alison in 3, Alicia Bain over the far side. I think Martha Reeves just was Shona Graham. Dundee City Aquatics. Martha Reeves, Dundee City Aquatics 1-2. Alicia Bain in 3rd. 35.37. Well, lots of chances here for some of the juniors in the last 2 heats to qualify for the junior final. Natalie Coogans, University of Stirling 1, Sophie Hull, Wanderbass 2, Holly Gardner, University of Stirling 3, Sophie Bain, Aberdeen Performance 4, Mia McAllister, Edinburgh University 5, Anna Douglas at Best 6, Sashka Wade, City Glasgow 7, Anna May O'Gambiers then in 8. Coming towards halfway mark, might just be lane 5, Mia McAllister. Very close over the far side, Sashka Wade also well there in 7. And a strong finish in 3, Holly Gardner. Holly Gardner maybe coming through to just get this one. It's lane 3, Holly Gardner, Sashka Wade in 7, Mia McAllister in 5. That's your 1, 2, 3. In fact, Sashka Wade just nipped it the very death. 1400s, 34.40 from Holly Gardner, 34.54, 34.99 Mia McAllister. This one there from lane 7 from Sashka. So Zoe McDonald could be in 1. She's decided to pull out of this one. So we're on to lane in 1. Kira Davison in 2. Naomi Van Dogen in 3. Diana Lawson 4, Anne Hutchison 5. Ellen Bagley 6th, and Rana McGregor in 7. Mila Gow in 8. So coming down to the halfway mark. Maybe lane 4. Aliana Lawson from Newcastle. And coming through, Ciara Davidson from Mulgine Bearsden. Ciara Davidson looks a strong fancy to take this one. Ciara Davidson. And over on the far side, Franrada McGregor trying to get a place as well. So we'll get third. And Ciara Davidson and Alana Lawson 1-2. And Franrada McGregor in third place. And both Ciara and Franrada, I'm pretty sure, will get themselves swims this evening, first and third in that final heat. So we slow things down a little bit. Another distance event. We had one heat of girls 800 this morning and one heat of the men's. Another heat of the slowest heats for the younger swimmers, mostly all juniors in this one. So we have 5 taking part in this one. James Cummings Candle, Portsmouth North Sea, goes in 1. Empty lane in 2. Alex Russell Barrett, Ellesmere College Titans in 3. Empty lane in 4. 5 we have John Taylor from Aberdeen Performance, Miles Turner, West Suffolk in 6. And Daniel Saunders, Rodna Bass, goes in lane number 7. So entry times in this one range from 8:45 through to 9:11:82. At the moment, all 5 all well placed. Let's see who gets the early touch. James Cummings Candle, 102.30. So 16 lengths is total to do. These guys are probably hoping to pace somewhere maybe around the 65-66 second mark. John Taylor, Aberdeen Performance now coming through. Miles Turner in 6. We're going to turn almost together. 2:08.15. A pace just under 66 seconds there. John Taylor turned 16 this year. He was the North District age group champion in this event. And 3rd at the Scottish National Age Groups last year. Going very strong over the longer distances. There's Turner. So that's the stroke for stroke with John. Alex Ruster Barnett, Ellesmere College Titans. In lane 3, away in 3rd place, Daniel Saunders from Warner Bass. Not that far behind either. E14.71, so around a 66.5. So probably pacing somewhere around 8:45, 8:50 range. at the moment, somewhere just about that mid 8:45, 8:50 as I mentioned a moment ago. I look for these guys to come in somewhere around about 4:21ish at halfway. Now John Taylor want to just stick as close to Miles as he can. Our two lads won't want this gap to increase. John Taylor just putting a little extra kick in there to ensure he's well there. 4:21.11. 4:21.18 rather. So nice steady pace here. Come on, Taylor. There's Turner, 4 years older. There's Turner. Pacific Championships did a little bit faster than his entry time, 8:49.20 is his entry time, but he had an 8:42.63. He's pacing a little bit slower than that at the moment. Might have just injected a little bit of pace as John Taylor has got to keep working hard to stick with Turner here. 5:26 or thereabouts should be the split. No, in fact, it's a little bit slower, 5:27.60. 66.5. So the pace just dropped a little bit there. Still on the sort of 8:45, 8:47 range. Certainly you'd expect the lads just to try and pick it up in the last 200 or so. Nice turn from Turner. It's opened up a good body length advantage. John Taylor has some work to do to try and get back on time. Daniel Saunders just has third place. So over a body length advantage now, 200 to go. 6:33.49. Well, just inside 66. So might just be inside 8:45 here. Certainly Turner working very hard. John Taylor, it's as though we just have to settle for second place now. He's kept it going pretty well throughout. At 3 or 4 metres back now. Daniel Saunders still fractionally ahead in third place of Alex Barnes. So 7:39 would be a good split for the leader here. Give him a chance to get very close to that 8:42, 8:43 he did not that long ago. 8:39.38. And just slightly under 66, so you'd certainly expect him to be inside 8:45. Can he find a little bit extra? 8:42.63. He's got to do 63 and a quarter. So he needs to be turning around 8:10, 8:11 to give him half a chance. Now it's 8:11.40. Well, you never know. John Taylor almost 4 seconds further back as Alex Russell Barnes now gone back into third place. We'll keep an eye on the clock here. It's actually taken up from about halfway and going further and further away. It's going to be pretty close to that. 8:42 is cracking finish. 8:42.35. So it's about a third of a second faster than he did at the Suffolk Championships. So cracking swim from Miles Turner there. John Taylor, I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted with that swim as well at this stage of the season. 8:46. Alexis Barnes third, and Daniel Saunders fourth. 42.35, 8:46 for John. So we conclude this afternoon with 7 heats of 200 free, or 14 over. And the mates from City Glasgow in 1. Leah Hughes, City Glasgow back in the water again in 2, as is Kira Rennie from Wonderbass. Cannibalotti, another one back in the pool in 4. And another one, the swimmer Rebecca Schluman in 5, Hannah McCulloch, Morgan Bearsden in 6, Alice Knight first in 7, and Lauren McGill, Heart of Midlothian, another one who's getting another swim this afternoon in 8. So a busy afternoon for some of these youngsters. It gives them a great opportunity to swim at this meet. Someone doing maybe 2 or 3 swims. And if they're fortunate, they might get a couple of swims in the evening. Great experience for them. Now Hannah McCulloch, all these girls juniors. That's the advantage at the halfway mark. .206.11 is the fastest junior time. 3 swimmers in that sort of range. 207.57, the third fastest. All these girls in the sort of 216 to 218 range. So certainly won't be challenging that. It's all about trying to improve their times as much as they can. And Hannah McCulloch, 141. 1, 2. Clear of Rebecca. Yeah, just over a second. 2 Wonder Girls. Cannibalotti, Kira Rennie, and Cannibalotti. Cannibalotti coming through strongly in 4 now. Is finishing very strongly to try and challenge Rebecca and Hannah. And, Hannah McCulloch. Just going to hang on, I think. Hannah McCulloch very, very close at the death. Just hangs on to take it at 2:17.07 from the fast finishing Wonder swimmers. Rebecca Sluman, 2:17.21, and Cannibalotti, 2:17.36. Any Wonder swimmer in 4th place. So our second heat, Rachel McLeod, Wonder Bass 1, Anna McDonald, Burra Stockton 2, Hannah Edmondson, City Glasgow 3, Alice Mackey, Heart of Midlothian in 4, teammate Kate Carruthers 5, 6 Ella Stevenson, yes her name is on the board after being missed out earlier on from Belsill Shacks in 6, Anna Green Wonder Bass 7, and Abby Davis from the East Lothian swim team goes in lane number 8. So 2:14 to 2:15.95 is the range of times in this one. Abby Davis 31.07 leads at the 50. still over on that far side. Advantage with Abbey. Hannah Greenwell there, as is Hannah Edmondson. So halfway mark, 105.39. So we're probably the sort of 2:13-ish range here. Hannah Edmondson in 3, coming through strongly to challenge the two girls on the far side. Anna Green in lane 7, Abby Davis in 8. Kate Carruthers making a move in lane 5. And Alice Mackey in lane 4. Have they left it too late, the two Hearts girls in the middle lane? Well, maybe not. Far side though, Abby Davis from East Lothian still going very strongly indeed. Well, I think she's going to take this from the outside lane. Abby Davis led from start to finish. Outside smoker is going to take this from Anna Green and Alice Mackey. 2:13.96. Running time for Abby takes virtually 2 seconds of her time. Anna Green 2:14.76. Alice Mackey 2:15.28 in third place. So on to our 13th, Erica Chopek, Heart of Midlothian 1. Lara Mills, City of Oxford 2, Kerry Gillespie, Aberdeen Performance 3, Scarlett Ferris, Dundee City Quantics 4, Sky Mulholland, East Kilbride 5, Anna De Grossa from Best in lane 6, Megan Porteous, East Lothian Swim Team 7, and her teammate Lucy Lucas in 8. In lane 6, Anna De Grossa did get a good start. Scarlett Ferris though is coming through to challenge, and between them, Sky Mulholland from East Kilbride. Kerry Gillespie did an 800 this morning. 30.85, hits the wall in the lead. Scarlett Ferris, very nice smooth stroke from her. It's very relaxed in lane 4. Time of 2:11.40, where she was 4th equal at the summer meet. She's the silver medalist at the Midlands Championships, and now comes through to take it up, 104.90. So Scarlett's entry time 2:11.40. Let's see if she can get close to that. Still maintaining nice rhythm, Scarlett. Anna De Grossa in 6. This is still going pretty smoothly. Megan Porteous trying to get herself into the act, and Erica Chopek, the Hearts lass, in lane 1. Really got the bit between her teeth as well. And in 2, Lara Mills. It's getting a bit interesting down the final 25. Lara Mills in 2, Erica Chopek in 1, Scarlett Ferris in 4. Scarlett Ferris in 4 still holds sway, but Lara Mills with a strong finish. Lara Mills in 2 is just going to get up to take this. Lara Mills with a fantastic finish takes that from Scarlett Ferris, and over in 7, Megan Porteous just holds third place ahead of Erica Chopek. Well, all changed down that final stretch. 2:13.27 for Lara, 2:13.94 Scarlett, and 2:14.59. To heat number 4. Lisa Stoddart, East Lothian Swim Team in 1. Isabel Wood, Stirling Swim 2. Elise McQueenie, City Glasgow 3. Holly Shan, Aberdeen Performance 4. Natasha Simpson, Warner Bass 5. City Oxford's Gretel Good Game 6. Anna Williamson, City Glasgow 7. Sarah Penny, Aberdeen Performance goes in lane number 8. So 3 more heats to follow. And whole field in this one, all juniors, 2:10.30 to 2:11.20. So maybe something around the 2:09, 2:10 mark for some of them might get them a swim later on. Still have 3 more heats, quite a number of juniors to come, and about 12 more juniors to follow. Elise McQueenie in 3, Isabel Wood in 2. I'm going to turn 1-2, not much between them, 104.51, just a little bit faster than the previous heat, 104.62. Tasha Simpson turned in 3rd. Holly Shan now coming through in lane 4 to challenge Elise McQueenie. And, Isabel Wood in 2. I just found a wee bit extra here. And it's Isabel Wood, another youth development squad member from Scotland, coming through very strongly here. And off the turn, 1:30.43. Israel still with the advantage. Elise McQueenie not done with though, she's trying to get back on Thames, as is Holly Shan and Natasha Simpson in 5. But Isabel Wood, I don't think it's going to be caught. Isabel Wood from Stirling Swim. Natasha Simpson finishing very strongly indeed. Isabel Wood in lane 4, Holly Shan just touched out by Natasha Simpson. The merest fraction for that second place, but a cracking swim from Isabel, 2:12.06 to take that. 400s between Natasha Simpson and Holly Shan. Alice McQueenie got a quarter of a second for the back in 4th place. Three more heats to go. Heat 5, Chantel Smith, University of Stirling goes in 1. Erin Donnelly, Borough Stockton 2. Sashka Wade, City Glasgow 3. Katarina Souza, Loughborough University 4. Catherine Bailey, Perth City 5. Natalie Jones, Lorna Bath 6. Jacqueline McMillan, Carnarvon 7. Lauren Patterson, City Glasgow 8. Well, juniors in all the lanes apart from lanes 1 and 4. 2:09.55 to 2:10.30. Well, not seen anything sub 2:10 here. Certainly anything sub 2:10 from these juniors will probably give them an excellent chance of getting to that final. Catherine Souza, 29.81 from Sashka Wade and Jacqueline McMillan. Katrina sits at the African Championships. For the moment has advantage approaching halfway. Very close for second, lane 5 perhaps. Catherine Bailey, that's actually Jacqueline McMillan just ahead of Catherine Bailey. So halfway mark, 1:02.97. A good couple of half seconds faster. Here comes Catherine Bailey, this in that red cap from Perth City. Great distance swimmer, Catherine. Jacqueline McMillan in lane number 7. That faster arm action has got her, I think, into 1st place. Carnegie swimmer has come from 3rd into 1st place. Has she? Catherine Bailey, 1:36.95, 1:37.04. Catherine Bailey, Jacqueline McMillan still with what to do to get back on Thames. At Catherine Bailey and Chantel Smith in lane 1 coming through late. Catherine Bailey has certainly got this from Jacqueline McMillan. They might get swims later on depending on what happens later. That's the 1-2, and Lauren Patterson in 3rd. So a great swim from Catherine there. 2:09.81, the first under 2:10. Jacqueline McMillan 2:10.50, and Lauren Patterson 2:11.20. One might have to sweat to see if she gets into the final. With 7 more juniors to follow. Faye Rogers, Borough Stockton 1. Francesca Whiting, Youngsmere College Titans 2. Mary Swanson, Aberdeen Performance 3. Kaylin Hall, Aberdeen Performance 4. Olivia Mason, Warner Bass 5. Ellis Shields, City Glasgow 6. Millie Milne, Warner Bass in 7. Tisha Bain, Aberdeen Performance in 8. Two distance swimmers in 4 and 5. Kaylin Hall, Olivia Mason. And they get something special in this one. Going well is Mary Swanson though. 29.70. Olivia Mason, Kaylin Hall well there though. So Mary Swanson, 5th at Irish Championships, and that's where our time 2:07.92 comes from. It's now the 2 middle lanes, Kaylin Hall and Olivia Mason. Olivia Mason just by a fraction, 1:07.75, 1:01.81. It's advantage with the Wonder swimmer Olivia Mason, youth development squad member, East District champion, 2nd at Scottish Schools, and 7th last year at the British Championships, and 4th at national age groups, Scottish national age groups. Kaylin Hall was the winner of the summer meet. That's where her entry time comes from. She was 3rd at Scottish Schools behind Olivia. And Mary Swanson still going well in 3 though. So it's past and present. It's present Wonder swimmer against past Wonder swimmer Mary Swanson. Olivia Mason takes that 2:07.34. Mary Swanson 2nd place, 2:07.82, and Kaylin Hall takes 3rd, 2:08.07. Very fast times there. Certainly Kaylin and Olivia should have done enough to qualify for this evening's final with those times. Move on to our final heat. With an empty lane in 4. Remaining 7 are Ellie Hamilton from 1st and 1, Megan Bryn, Bath University 2, Ellie Walker, Loughborough in 3, Rebecca Reid, Aberdeen Amateurs 5 rather, Drew Mackenzie, City Glasgow in 6, Rebecca Sutton, Swansea University 7, Melly G Jones, Borough Stockton goes in 8. Well, the 3 juniors in 1, 6 and 8 all do their entry times. That will get them swims later on. We'll see what happens in this final heat of the afternoon. Ellie Walker from Loughborough at the moment, maybe about half a metre clear. Rebecca Sutton, Swansea University over in 7, going well. Rebecca Reid from Aberdeen Amateurs, and Drew Mackenzie 3rd and 4th, 1:00.47. Over the far side, Rebecca Sutton looks as though she's putting a challenge here to Ellie Walker. Rebecca Reid still well there, along with Drew Mackenzie. It's off the turn. 1:32.76. Rebecca Sutton, second, and I think she'll have to settle for that 2nd place. Ellie Walker, looks as though she's done enough to take this one. 2:06.04. is required to get them another swim. I think both of them get there. Rebecca Reid in third. Well, it might be that Melody Jones and Ellie Hamilton might not get swims, those two juniors. Drew McKenzie on a 2:09.45. She'll sneak in. That can get checked by the club coaches. Ellie Walker and our swimmer over there, Rebecca Sutton, I think I've done enough to get second swim in the B final this evening. So that concludes session 5. We're back at 4 o'clock, so join us just before 4 o'clock for the final session of day 2. So from Robert Taylor, I hope you've enjoyed session 5 and hope to see you back in an hour or so for session 6, our finals.